it
In
may
the
lose an
blinding
entire
lights of
generation
Hollywood,
of icons.
where dreams are sold
6.
for millions, and
Reactions.
every red carpet
A silence
promises a
too
new fairy
suspicious,
tale,
causing
an
collateral
unexpected
damage.
storm has
This
shattered
only
the
fueled
carefully
further
polished
speculation
surface.
among the public.
A 47-minute
Could there be a list
video,
of people who
long
knew
hidden in the
contemptuous
vaults of
look,
federal
then clearly
investigations,
says you
has
go when I
finally
say not
emerged,
when you ask?
and with it a shocking
He then
portrait
turns
of
and
power,
sings far
cruelty,
beyond entertainment.
and silent complicity
He holds shares
that
in
no
the
one in the
premium vodka
entertainment
brand
industry
Ciroc,
wanted
has
the world
collaborated
to
with
see.
Revolt TV,
At the center
a
of this
media
storm
carried out
stands
quietly
Sean
late last
Diddy
year
Combs,
after many
an
months of
icon
undercover
whose empire once
investigation.
symbolized
An anonymous
unstoppable
investigator
ambition,
revealed that
luxurious
authorities had
excess,
confiscated
and musical
numerous
genius.
profile.
Behind
The only one
platinum
who
records,
reacted is
the
someone known
champagne
for never
towers,
holding
and
his
the
tongue,
endless
50
red
Cent.
carpet appearances.
On his personal
lies a
page, it could be the
grotesque
explosion
reality,
that
one
shakes
so
all
dark
of Hollywood.
That even Hollywood's
Meanwhile,
most
the mansion in
scandal-hungry
Holmby Hills remains
insiders are left
obedient.
speechless.
I will not
This isn't
leave.
another cheap
I will not
tabloid
resist.
scandal or a
Their
celebrity
voices are
meltdown
small,
to
shaky,
laugh at
yet
over
every
morning
word is
coffee.
clear.
This
Then the
is a
screen abruptly
horrifying
cuts to black with
expose,
white text.
a raw
He's graced the
confession,
cover of Forbes'
straight from
attended
inside
Global
the
Economic
fortress
Forums
that once
and has been
welcomed the
invited to
world's
speak at
most
events for
exclusive
UNCF
guests.
WeWork
The leaked
and even
footage
Political
doesn't
Other
just
has now
challenge
disabled
Diddy's
comments on
reputation,
his older
it
posts
annihilates
related
it.
to the rapper.
It tears apart
Meanwhile,
the glossy
Justin
magazine
Bieber, whom
covers,
Diddy
the
once treated like a
philanthropic
little
public
brother early in
appearances,
his
and the
career,
perfectly
Jay-Z,
curated
Naomi
Instagram
Campbell,
posts
Mary
that
J.
shaped him
Blige,
into a
and
global
Justin
icon.
Bieber have remained
Fans who once
completely
screamed
silent,
his
or
name
they
at
quietly
sold-out
buried
concerts
lawsuits
now
swept
watch
under the
in
rug.
frozen disbelief.
This time, what the
How
public
did
is
it
witnessing
come to
is
this?
visual proof,
How could a man
undeniable,
so
and brands,
celebrated and
and any
trusted
public action
build
could be
such a
twisted
terrifying
into
private
moral
world?
complicity.
As they scroll
According to
through
the same
old
source,
photos
Jay-Z
and watch
often
the
referred to
footage,
himself
the
as the
sense of
leader of the
betrayal
new
cuts
generation
deeper
of
than
power,
any PR
asserting that
disaster or
everything he
drug
did
scandal
was
we've
just
seen
how
before.
those who once
More
lived in the
disturbingly,
shadows are
this
stepping
video
forward,
forces the
not
public
because
to
they
confront
believe, have their
chilling
phones
questions.
regularly checked
How
to ensure
far does
no
power
recordings were
truly
being
reach
made.
behind closed
A music
doors?
assistant who
How
worked
many
with
hidden
Diddy from
deals,
at the
silenced
time,
voices,
many
and
people
broken
doubted her,
spirits
suggesting
have
she
been
was
swept away
exaggerating
to
or
protect
lacked
the
concrete
illusion.
proof.
And if such
Now,
horrors
with
can
the release of
unfold
this
in
video,
plain sight
that
of so
horrifying
many
a wealthy elite,
connected
this was the
insiders,
very place
what
where
does it
Diddy
say
used to
about the
host
moral
lavish
backbone
parties,
of an
entertain
industry
countless
built on
celebrities, but to
image
stay
and
untouched
worship?
by the system
As
for nearly
millions
2
rush to
decades,
replay
you need
every
organized
horrifying
power,
frame.
and Diddy has clearly built it.
The
There are stories
around
once
Diddy
dismissed as
collapses
rumors
in real
down in
time.
silence, as
Those
though even
who
a
once
glance
called him
could
a
earn
mentor
punishment.
or brother
Diddy's
scramble
voice
to
rings out
erase
clearly.
old posts
Violence,
and sever
or
all
is it the
ties.
visible tip of an iceberg?
Longtime collaborators
One where the
refuse to
ultra at the
speak,
top,
hoping
protected
that
by 3
silence will
tools,
shield them from
money
the
connections,
fallout.
and videos.
The
Among
mansions
them,
that once
the videos
sparkled
mere
under
digital
drone
sessions.
shots and music video
What stands out
cameos
most
now
in the
sit
entire
under
video
harsh
is Diddy's
forensic
demeanor,
lights,
utterly
stripped of
cold,
glamour
unwavering,
and secrets
devoid of
alike.
emotion.
The
Clean that
emergence
up
of this
properly.
footage is not
You
just
think
the
this house
fall
is
of
here
one
for
man.
fun?
It is the
His tone
collapse
isn't
of an
loud, but it
entire
carried of the
mythos.
mansion was completely
Hollywood,
sealed off.
once
No
a
one knows what
factory of
happened
dreams,
inside.
now
But
must
according to a
stare
staff
into
member
its
who
own
worked that
abyss.
night,
A
all I can
world where
say
money
is
and
if that night's
influence
video ever gets
manufacture
out, a
obedience,
few careers
erase
signals toward a
humanity,
corner of the
and
room,
weaponize
a faint snap
silence.
is heard.
In the
Another
end,
man,
the
possibly a
question isn't
bodyguard
whether
or
Diddy
assistant,
crossed the
enters
line.
holding a slim leather
The real
whip.
horror is
Without
realizing
further
there
words, he
might have
approaches
never
the young
been a
woman
line
and
to
strikes
begin
her
with.
thigh, and
Only
flaunt
a
his
void,
power wealth
patiently
and
waiting to swallow
his ability
the truth.
for absolute
The video
control.
opens not with the thumping
However,
bass
ever
lines of
since
a
the
club
shocking
hit
video
or the
began
familiar
National
echo of a
Resorts,
cheering crowd,
a former tech
but with a
employee who
chilling
had worked within
stillness.
the data
A
systems of
dimly
Diddy's
lit living
entertainment
room
company
appears on screen,
confirmed
instantly
there was an internal
recognizable from
division that
countless
operated.
Diddy
Case has laid
Instagram
bare a
selfies.
truth that
The
can't be
same
denied.
luxurious
Power
backdrop
cannot
of designer
exist outside
furniture
the law.
and golden chandeliers
Fame cannot
that
be
once
an eternal
dazzled his
shield.
millions of fans.
And silence from victims
But
is the
now
consistency
it feels
and
like an
testimony from
abandoned
multiple
stage
unrelated
for an
witnesses.
unthinkable performance.
Cassie, the bodyguard,
in the center,
the
Sean
housekeeper,
Diddy Combs
the music
sits
assistant,
draped in a
all
pristine
describe many
white
details
robe
in the
that
clip
almost
align
glows
uncannily
against
with
the
what Cassie
suffocating
Diddy's
darkness around
ex-girlfriend
him.
alleged
His
in her
legs
civil
are crossed
lawsuit filed in
elegantly. A glass of
2023.
dark liquor
She
swirling
recounted secret
idly in his
rooms
hand.
where she was previously
His face
collaborated
is a
with Diddy
cold,
on music
expressionless
projects,
mask,
international
as
events,
if he's
or
watching
media
a dull
campaigns.
rehearsal rather
People
than
like
presiding
witness list and summoning more people who worked it at Diddy's other
Surrounding
properties,
him
including
are
his
4
Miami
individuals,
estate and
2
Manhattan
men
penthouse.
and 2 women.
One insider
They are
saying
barely
picture
clothed,
is beginning to
their
take shape,
bodies glistening
revealing
with
every
sweat,
chilling detail.
their hair tangled
From the lighting and
matted,
camera placement,
torn
who never
garments
appeared
hang
at the main
loosely from their
office.
trembling
This
frames,
we are
revealing
reviewing
bruises
all
and
the data
welts
we've
that
seized.
scream of
If we
countless
discover any
unseen
video containing
torments.
additional criminal
None of them
elements, we
dare
will
to
knot
look
the
up.
outfits at
Each
night,
pair
only
of
to
eyes
emerge the
remains
next morning.
glued to the
I always
polished
thought they were
marble
models
floor,
for a shoot
their
or
backs
reality
hunched
show
in
participants.
silent defeat.
I never down a star.
Diddy's voice finally
It could
cuts through the
dismantle
tension
an
as
entire
sharp
covert
as a
alliance
blade.
between entertainment
Clean
law
that up
and
properly.
politics.
You think this
The
house
final,
exists
equally
for your
shocking, labeled
amusement?
as conspiracy
His
theories,
tone isn't
these
loud.
accounts are now
It's a
resurfacing
low,
not with skepticism,
searing hiss
but with a
that
drive to
carries a
uncover the truth.
terrifying
And if
finality.
these theories prove true, the accused
When one
chooses
man
to stay
fails
silent.
to wipe a
It's
spill
not
to
all.
Diddy's
Each clip
liking,
wasn't just
the
evidence.
mogul
It was an
rises
invisible
smoothly,
chain
steps
holding Diddy's
forward,
relationships
and
in
delivers
place.
a brutal slap
Who would
to the
dare
back of
betray
his
him,
neck.
knowing they'd been
The
filmed
sound
in a
echoes
compromising?
through the room
He's a
like
demon.
gunshot.
That
The
was the
man
chilling
barely
remark
flinches,
made by an FBI
simply
agent
bowing
during a
his head
closed-door
lower
press
and
conference.
scrubbing harder,
Immediately
as though
following,
pain
she
were
claimed
an
that she was once
accepted
forced
currency.
to take part in
What
freak-offs
follows
gatherings
is a
where women
moment
were
so
treated like
vile
props,
that
and
many
coates that
viewers
this was not
reportedly
simply some
turned away
perverse
or
indulgence.
paused the video in
Rather,
shock.
it appears to be a
young woman
meticulously
no older than
orchestrated
her
pattern,
early 20s
clearly
edges
coordinated, and
forward,
most
her
importantly
knees
deliberately
buckling
were individuals
under
who had
invisible
collaborated
weight.
with him in
She
music, fashion,
whispers,
and charitable
"Sir,
events.
May
Media
I use the
experts have
bathroom?"
labeled this phenomenon
Diddy tilts his head
retroactive risk
slightly,
management.
his lip curling
There was even a
into
case where an
disgusted
FBI
sneer.
agent was removed
You
level.
go when
Some
I
clips
say,
even included
not
real
when
names and
you
detailed
ask.
personal
At
information
this
seemingly
signal,
for
a tall man
long-term
in the
blackmail
background,
purposes.
possibly a
As for the
bodyguard,
motive, invested
steps
laughed,
forward,
shook
holding
hands,
a
danced,
slender
and
black
posed for
whip.
friendly photos
Without
with Diddy.
hesitation or
Now
a
it's as if
single
all
word,
traces
he
of their
brings the
past
whip
connections
down
had
across
vanished.
The woman's
The
exposed
media has
thigh.
up at the left corner.
The crack
Inside the
slices
grounds,
through the heavy
numerous
air,
agents are
and she
ordered to
grabs her
kneel,
leg
place
in a
their
silent
hands on their
gasp,
heads, and
her
recite
whole
a
body
pledge
convulsing.
aloud.
There is
I will
no
be
scream,
loyal to Inner
no
Circle,
plea,
Naomi
only
Campbell,
raw,
Mary J.
frozen
Blige,
obedience.
Ashton Kutcher, or
Midway
Justin
through the
Bieber.
footage, the group is ordered
These were the
to form
people
a
who had
line.
once Beyonce
Diddy
didn't
saunters
post a
past
story.
them like a general
Not a
inspecting
word of
troops,
comfort, denial,
pointing
or
at each
shock
person
came
with
from those
disdain.
once considered
You're
Diddy's
filth.
The Silent
You're
House.
nothing.
Because
You're
starting
a
from
stray
last Monday
dog.
night, police and
Each
federal
insult
agents
is
have
punctuated
sealed the
with a
property for a
violent
full
strike
7.
from the whip.
A source
When
from the
one
district
man
attorney's
dares
office
to
stated,
glance up,
"It's
Diddy
possible the
points to
video
him
was
sharply
intentionally
and
with
snaps,
always because they
"He
fear
looked at me.
backlash."
Teach him.
Sometimes it's because they
The
know
enforcer
exactly what's
steps
going
in
on.
and delivers
And that
3
knowledge is
rapid
what
lashes
terrifies
to the
them.
man's back.
Speaking out
The
would mean
victim
confront your
staggers,
job
but
tonight.
remains upright, his
In a
face
confidential
picture
hearing,
of resigned
Maria G.,
agony.
a former
Perhaps
full-time
the most
housekeeper
deeply
at the Holmby
unsettling
Hills mansion,
segment appears
testified
closer to the
71
end of the
Sunset
video.
Vista Drive,
The 4
once
participants
celebrated
are
as a
forced
symbol
to
of
kneel
Hollywood's
in a
ultra.
semicircle,
With him very often,
place their hands
but
on their
what you're
heads
describing is not
and
something
recite
that
a
I've
chilling
observed during my
pledge.
interactions.
I
We
will
adjourn,
be loyal.
we adjourn.
I
Mr.
will
Mladic
not
will be
leave.
removed from the
I will
courtroom.
not
Sirens.
resist.
A nurse
Their
inside
voices
confirmed
are
to the
so
press
small and
that a
shaky,
middle-aged woman
yet
was
each
taken
word
from the scene
slices
in an
into the
unback.
viewer's conscience
An
like a
inside
blade.
source from Rock
As they
Nation,
chant,
the company
the
founded by
camera briefly
Jay-Z,
pans to the
revealed Jay
side,
wants no part of
revealing
this.
a black folder
He's currently
labeled
collaborating with
Props
several
Session
global once
A12.
interacted with Diddy on
Beside
Instagram,
it
had
sits a
deleted
small
or
wooden
hidden
shelf
their related
containing
posts.
items that seem more
Among
fitting
them,
for a
and when even
medieval
a single
torture
old
chamber
photo
than
can
a
serve
modern
as social
mansion.
evidence.
Metal
However, some
restraints,
other analysts
leather
argue that
collars,
this isn't just a
thick
fear of
ropes,
single
and
empire.
multiple whips,
It's the suspicion
each
surrounding
carefully hung
everything
like
that's been
prized
hidden.
artifacts.
Is this merely an isolated case?
In
A
an
powerful
almost
individual
cinematic
spiraling
twist,
into
the video
deviance at Old
also
Mansion,
captures Diddy's
an estate
son,
long
Justin
suspected to be
Combs,
the center of
standing at the
covert
edge of
and
the room,
irregular
phone in
activities.
hand.
The raid
He is
was
seen
immediately
smirking
after the
faintly,
leaked video spread
casually
like
filming what
wildfire on
appears to be
social
a
media.
short clip,
Public unease
perhaps
didn't
for
stem
private
from the
viewing,
violent one.
or something
The
far
leaked
more
footage,
sinister.
according to
His
information
presence raises
disclosed
an
by the Federal
avalanche of
Investigation
disturbing
Team,
questions.
that shocking video
How
deleted
deeply
in an
is he
internal
involved?
meeting.
Was
We
this
opened
an
the case
isolated
back in
performance,
2019,
or has
but
he
there were
witnessed
clear
such
signs
scenes
some data
repeatedly?
had pulled back.
Throughout
And
the
that's
video,
precisely
Diddy
what what has
remains
Hollywood
detached,
holding its breath.
sometimes
After
sipping
everything
his drink,
that's unfolded,
other
the
times
leaked video,
calmly
the
adjusting his
explosive
robe.
testimonies, the
At one
mansion
point, as a
lockdown, the chilling
participant
silence
hesitates
from
before
celebrities, and a
obeying an
stream
order,
of emerging
he
least
drawls
blind
in an
eyes
almost
from
bored
those in
voice,
power.
I
An
pay
entertainment
for
lawyer
obedience,
who's represented
not
several top
compassion.
artists in Los
It is a
Angeles
line so
revealed
haunting
Diddy's
that
network
it has
isn't what
already
unsettled
become a
people
viral
most wasn't
soundbite,
the violent
a
nature of the
grotesque
footage,
slogan
but the
echoing
unnerving
through
sense
social
that
media
nothing
comment
about it Diddy
sections
once
and
referred to
late-night
internally
news
as a
panels
private
alike.
secretary. This
The final
basement
moments
chamber
of the
does not
video
appear
are as
in any
methodical
official
as they
blueprints
are
on file with
terrifying.
local authorities,
Each
a
person is
fact that has
commanded to
drawn
stand
intense
one last
scrutiny,
time
forced
and
to
bow
participate
deeply
in
toward Diddy.
sickeningly staged
Then they kneel
rehearsals,
again,
all of which
hands
were
on
filmed.
heads, repeating
Numerous
the pledge
lawsuits
one
were
final
filed,
time.
and several
The
witnesses
screen
came forward,
abruptly fades
yet
to black.
everything seemed to
In
disappear
stark white
behind an
text
invisible
appears,
wall
"Session
that
concluded.
investigators now refer to.
Internal archive only."
As of now,
If
the
the
estate
leaked
remains
footage were
under
a
strict
scripted horror
lockdown.
film,
Diddy,
viewers
currently
might accuse
detained
it
at
of
Brooklyn
being
D's legal team,
unrealistic,
has instructed
too
the
cruel to
removal
be
of all
believable.
old photos
But
with
here,
Diddy
there
from
is
official
no
media
director's
platforms.
commentary, no
Ashton
disclaimers,
Kutcher, who once
no
openly
special
called
effects
Diddy his
team
big
waiting
person, stated
backstage.
that the videos
It
were
is
not only
unfiltered,
stored, but also
undeniable
categorized
proof.
based
A
on their
stark,
sensitivity
harrowing
and
window
strategic
into
value.
A private world
The most
that no
censorship.
one was ever supposed
In
to
one
see.
scene, when someone
By the time
trembles
the
and
final
refuses
text
to
fades
obey,
out,
he casually
the silence
declares,
that follows
"I pay
feels
for
heavier
obedience,
than any
not
music
compassion."
drop or plot twist. The
From
reality
Puff Daddy
is
to
far
defendant,
more twisted than any
he has walked
fiction.
the full path from
cruelty is
stardom
not a
to a symbol
metaphor,
of
but a
corrupted
system.
power.
One
And what about the
seemingly
American
designed,
entertainment industry
orchestrated,
to have
and
long
immortalized
coordinated
by a
and
man
operated?
once revered
5.
as an icon.
Which conspiracy
This
is real?
footage isn't
After the
merely
leaked
evidence,
video sent
it is a
shockwaves
living
across social
accusation.
media, she
It
once a
tears
staff
away the
member,
glossy
a victim,
illusions of
or
fame
someone
and
safeguarding
reveals
the
something
darkest
that
secrets.
can never be unseen.
Residents living adjacent document revealed that
As
during
the
a
world struggled to
2018
process
party
the nightmarish
attended by
footage,
at least
a
3
second wave of
top-tier
shock
entertainment
followed
figures,
almost immediately.
Diddy instructed
The
all
emergence of
guests
those
to
who
be
had lived
mislabeled to
closest
avoid
to the
priority
chaos,
processing.
who had once stayed
That's not
silent
accidental.
out of fear.
That only
The
happens when
witnesses.
someone on the inside
The
intervenes.
first to step forward
From
was
the
Cassie
archival
Ventura,
records, at least
Diddy's
theory
former girlfriend
is that Diddy
and
might
longtime
not be
creative
alone,
partner.
but merely
In
the visible tip
2023, she
of a
had
much
filed
larger
a civil
network.
lawsuit
Diddy
describing
relations.
a relationship
This
mired
further
in
fueled
emotional
suspicions
control,
of a soft
threats,
power circle,
and
not
psychological
direct
abuse.
bribery, but
She spoke
influence
of
strong enough to
freak-off
delay,
gatherings,
dilute, or
secret
derail
performances,
investigation. Terrifying
where
things
women
are
were
happening
forced to
under the
act
lights
like
in front of
dolls for
cameras
Diddy's
with all the
entertainment,
props.
often in front
The
of
video
cameras.
opens in a living
At the
room
time,
scene familiar
many
from many
dismissed her
of
words
Diddy's
as
Instagram
exaggerated
photos,
grievances
but
of a
there are no
scorned
glittering
ex-partner.
on other people's secrets.
Now, with the footage
and if
in
those secrets
circulation,
begin to
her
surface,
testimony takes
Hollywood
on an
won't
eerie
just
new
lose
clarity.
a single star.
Cassie's
That some
descriptions
celebrities
match nearly
fear
every
Diddy
detail
desperate
in
to
the
protect
video.
himself,
The lighting,
or his son
the cold
might take
commands,
others
the
down with him
enforced
by
pledges.
releasing videos
What was
involving
once
other
perceived
individuals.
as
That Diddy
implausible
not only
suddenly
manipulated
feels
individuals but
meticulously
secured
documented.
protection from within
Alongside
the system.
Cassie's
Then this
claims,
scandal
a former
won't just bring
bodyguard
Diddy
who had
should have
worked
been
for Diddy
facing
between
serious
2015
allegations.
and
2017
broke
to
his
2019
silence.
shared
In a
that they had heard
confidential
about a
statement to
private
federal
data vault
investigators,
storing
he
videos and
described a
internal
heavily
documents
guarded room
to which no one
labeled
was granted federal
A12,
prosecution.
a chamber always
But now,
kept under
with
dual
the leaked
locks.
video confirming
Only
what
Diddy,
plaintiffs had
his
designs of
personal
videos,
assistant,
he doesn't
and a
need to make
mysterious
threats.
technician
The
possessed
clip's
keys.
existence
I
is the
often
threat.
heard muffled
Authorities have
cries,
labeled this
the
theory
snap
the
of a whip,
pathological
or
power
loud
triangle
sudden
with Diddy,
bangs,
a wooden
the
shelf
bodyguard
labeled
revealed.
props.
But whenever
Session
I asked,
A12.
I was threatened
And on the
with
table,
termination
a black
on the
folder
spot.
densely
His
filled with
accounts
handwritten
describe
names.
a mansion that was less
According
a
to
home
on-site
and more an
information,
elaborate
investigators
stage
have
set
seized
for
a large
ritualistic
cache of
humiliation
sensitive
and
items
control.
to the way the central
He
figure
added that
believed to be
staff were
Diddy
forbidden
sits
from
directing
entering
the
certain
actions like a
areas
true
after
director.
10 p.m.,
Everything
and
indicating
all movements were
session
logged
concluded,
meticulously
keep
by
internal
Diddy's
copy.
private security
Even
detail,
seeing a small
Maria
pulso
G.,
came
a
forward.
housekeeper who
In a
worked
report
in
to the
Home
FBI,
Hills
he
mansion
confirmed
for
that the room
nearly
seen in
5
the video
years
labeled
painted
A12
an equally
was always
chilling
locked
picture.
with 2 separates
In
for
her
the right
private
moment to
deposition,
rise.
she explained
We'll continue
that
to
she
monitor
often
this
had to
case
scrub
closely and will
down
update as
rooms
soon as
that
new
bore
information
evidence
emerges.
of
But one
bizarre
riddled with
events.
suspicion.
There were
A
always
power
soiled
analyst in the
towels,
media industry
baby oil
commented,
bottles
if
scattered
Diddy really
around,
has those media,
sometimes faint
because if a
blood
person could
stains on
maintain
sheets.
such alleged
She
behavior for
recalled her voice
decades without
trembling.
exposure, the
We
system
knew
has
something
failed.
awful was
Or
happening,
worse, it
but
knew
we
and
also
chose
knew
to look
better
away.
than
And
to
civil
ask
lawsuits filed
questions.
against Diddy between between 2017 and
Maria further
2022
revealed that
were
all
dismissed
staff were
or
required
withdrawn
to sign
within just
strict
10 days of
non-disclosure
theories.
agreements.
The clearest takeaway
Phones were
isn't
checked
just the fall
weekly
of
to
Gaunt
ensure
frame.
no photos or
She lay
recordings
motionless on a
could ever
stretcher,
leave the
eyes
estate.
closed, clutching a
One
stained
morning,
cloth.
after an unusually
Imprinted on it was a
intense
faded
night,
logo
Maria was
resembling
rushed
the
to
old world
clean a
emblem
room
of
where she
infuriating
was told a
theory
female
is that
guest
Diddy
had
was
collapsed
shielded for
and
years by
required medical
insiders within the
intervention.
legal system.
They never said
What outraged
really
many
happened, she
wasn't
said.
just the
"We
content of
just
the video,
cleaned and
but the years of
pretended nothing was
silence that
wrong."
preceded it.
Adding
A
another
time
layer
when
of
Diddy twirling
horror,
a glass of
former
liquor.
music assistant
His face
who
is
worked with
ice
Diddy
cold and
between
expressionless,
2017
as if
and
he's watching a
2019
boring play he
confirmed
himself
the
is directing.
existence of a
Surrounding him
so-called
are four
strategic
individuals not
archive
surfaced
room.
by accident.
This room
It wasn't the
just
result of
restoring
hacking or an
old
external
tour footage
leak.
or music demos.
Instead,
the
this clip
assistant
came from
explained.
data
It
seized
held
during a
categorized
large-scale
video
raid
files,
at Diddy's home beat
hours
after
of
the video
recordings,
went public.
some labeled
I had
with
just
code
stepped in
names
to check
and
the
dates.
AC when I was
The
told
most
to leave
sensitive
immediately.
clips were marked in red
By the time I
folders
came back,
and
all
locked
the
inside
internal
separate
cameras had been
cabinets.
disconnected.
He admitted
One
he
major
never saw the
question that
videos
has
himself,
investigators
but knew
perplexed
they were
is why the
considered
video
Diddy's
was only
ultimate
just
insurance
released
policy.
now when it has been
We
in
all
the hands
joked
of law
that these
enforcement
tapes
for
were his
months
nuclear
held,
button,
or
he
someone
said.
actively
But now I
prevented it from
realize
being
it
used
wasn't
as
a joke
evidence.
at all.
Some
Further
investigative
testimonies
journalists
revealed
suspect
the
that the leak
psychological
represents an
terror
act of
used to
internal
maintain order
old
within
posts
Diddy's
from
inner
2015
circle.
to
Staff reported
2018 where
routine
Bieber
surprise
referred to
meetings
Diddy as
where
the
they were
greatest
reminded
inspiration
of
of
the
my
hierarchy
life
of
have been
silence,
hidden from
a
his
system
system, decided
enforced
to
through
break the
constant
silence.
surveillance and the
This
threat
theory
of
gains
sudden
credibility
expulsion
given
from
that the
Diddy's
video was
world.
anonymously sent to an
chilling detail
international
emerged in a
anti-hue
recent
scrubbing too
investigation
afraid to
report.
react.
Witnesses
Next comes a
confirmed
scene that
certain
makes many
sessions
viewers
were
look away.
replayed
A
for
woman in her
select
early
guests
20s
at
wearing only a
private
thin bra
after-parties.
and shorts
These
steps
guests,
timidly
many
before
of them
Diddy and
A-list
quietly
celebrities
asks,
and powerful
"Saying missing" had
executives,
been definitive
watched
proof,
as if viewing
and no one
avant-garde
dared to speak
art,
out until the
clueless,
video went
or perhaps
public.
willfully ignorant
One of the
the
first
reality
witnesses
behind the
mentioned
performances.
is a statement
One
that sends
ex-security
chills down the
contractor
spine.
described an evening where, during
In the
a
final
private
segment,
gathering,
the four
a group was
participants
shown
are
a
of a
clip
numbered,
people
methodically
pledging loyalty
catalogued
to
collection.
Diddy.
The
They
recently
laughed.
leaked video
They
is one
thought
of
it was
those
some
recordings.
twisted parody,
What makes
he
it so
said.
shocking
But it was
is that
real.
rapper posted a
That
photo
was
of
the
Diddy
worst
in an
part.
interrogation room with the caption, "So
Shortly
who's
after
the real
leaked
daddy
video
now?"
surfaced,
Alongside it were
representing
sarcastic
former staff
remarks
members
hinting
began
has sparked
reopening
countless
previously
questions
dismissed
and uneasy
lawsuits.
speculation.
Many of these
When
cases
someone
have
dares
been
to look
quietly
back,
thrown out
Diddy points
due to
and
lack
says,
of concrete evidence.
"They glanced at
Now,
me."
however, that
Teach them a
landscape has
lesson.
changed overnight.
Immediately, the whip-wielding
Anton
man silence,
Weathers,
a
a
form
lawyer
of
representing a former
self-preservation
stylist,
rather than
told the
avoidance.
press. For
On
years,
platforms
our
like
client's
Reddit and
testimony
X,
was
numerous
considered
posts
hearsay.
are analyzing
With
the
this footage,
digital
we
disappearance
finally
pattern
have
among
the
those
visual
previously.
proof. We can
The
no
alarming
longer
thing isn't
ignore
just the
reality
disturbing
these
nature of the
survivors
clip,
have been
it's how long it
describing.
was buried.
The consistency
When such
among
clear
these accounts
visual
is what
evidence
makes
is
the narrative
suppressed for so
impossible
long
to
to list
ignore.
artists, including
Cassie,
some big
the
name
bodyguard,
film actors
Maria,
inside
the
those
housekeeper,
rooms.
and the music
They had no
assistant
idea they
all
were being
paint the
filmed.
same
This
nightmarish
source also
structure of
claimed that
absolute
Diddy of any
control
other
and
celebrities
psychological
linked to him.
warfare.
He targeted
As these
one
voices
man and
rise
one
from the
man
shadows,
only, a
the
clear
image of
strategy
Diddy as
throw
a
punches
charismatic
with guns in
genius
bulletproof
and self-made
vests,
mogul
carrying
begins
clipboards
to
paced
collapse
back and
like a
forth
stage
as if
prop
conducting a
struck from
meticulous
behind.
inventory of the scene.
Instead of a musical
A maintenance
empire
worker
built on
reportedly
talent
responsible
and
for the
vision,
home's electrical
what
and plumbing
emerges
systems.
is an empire built
The real
on
witnesses.
fear,
When the
secrecy,
shocking video
and
went viral,
unwavering
the
obedience.
hallways stay quiet,
Their
and
testimonies
in that
not only
basement the
validate
secrets
the
may
footage,
still be resting.
but also expose
Because the truth,
intricate
as they say,
machinery
never
that
dies.
kept this
It only
dark
waked
world
from a Diddy-related
turning.
file
The locks,
for no clear
the
reason,
surveillance,
an incident
the
later
legal
described
threats,
as an
and
internal
above all,
move to preserve
the
community
omnipresent,
who never shows
suffocating
up.
power
Local
wielded
news
by a man
cameras
who
captured
once
her image,
danced on stage
long
to the
silver hair,
cheers of
deeply lined
millions.
face, and
Now,
clutches her
these
leg,
same
trembling
millions
silently.
watch in horror
No
as the
scream,
truth
no
unfolds,
complaint.
a truth no one can
Mid-video,
dance away from. When
Diddy
the video
sits again and
erupted
starts
across
issuing
social
more
media,
explicit.
the public's
Prosecutors
immediate
realized it was
reaction
no
was a mix
coincidence.
of shock,
This was
disgust, and
confirmation, a
disbelief.
living testament to
But
what had once
just as
been dismissed
visceral
as
was the
fiction
next
in the victim's
question that
testimony.
swept through every
The
timeline
district
and
attorney's
group
office,
chat.
or
What will the
lawsuits
other
withdrawn after
celebrities
secret
say?
hotel meetings
The
with
world expected
non-disclosure
statements
clauses.
of outrage, words
Once
of
left
comfort
something
for the
deeper,
victims,
because
or
if people
at the very
truly
least,
believed that Diddy
denials
was
from
innocent
Diddy's
or being
closest
falsely
allies.
accused,
Instead,
the instinctive
an
reaction
eerie,
from close
coordinated
friends would be to
silence
publicly
settled
be
over
connected to
Hollywood
Diddy.
like a heavy
One
fog.
account pointed out that within
Jay-Z
just
once
3
once
days
seen
of the
arm
video
in arm
leak,
with Diddy
over
at
20
countless
celebrity
award
accounts
shows,
that had Bad
was
Boy
among the
Records,
first to act,
the record label
not by
Diddy
speaking,
founded.
but by
This
quietly
detail sent a
erasing
chill down
digital
many
traces.
spines. Was it in
Within
total
hours of the
isolation?
video surfacing,
We called it the
fans
strategic
noticed that
archive
several
room, and
old
only 2
photos of
people had
Jay-Z
access
and
to
Diddy
it.
had vanished
Diddy's
from
personal
official
assistant and a
websites
European
and
data
social media
engineer
feeds.
industry. It now stands at a
A
crossroads.
source close to
One the
Rock
smack
Nation
echoes
claimed
sharply.
Jay-Z's legal
The
team
victim just
advised
bows their head
immediate
and
digital
continues into
distancing
filming
to
intimate
minimize
encounters
risk
while
of
Diddy watched.
association.
When the leaked
Beyoncé,
clip
known
matched
for
those
her
exact
carefully
details from the
curated
lighting
public
setting
image
to Diddy's
and
very
ability
words,
to command
is enough to
global
choke
headlines
one
with
with
a
dread.
single Instagram post,
But viewed
offered
whole,
nothing
all the
but
pieces
silence.
leave only one
No
pressing
cryptic
question.
stories, no
What on
subtle
earth
captions,
is this?
just
And
a
how many
void
others have
where
endured the same
solidarity
fate?
might have lived.
3. Viral.
Naomi
Public opinion
Campbell,
quickly
Mary
split into two
Blige,
clearly
Ashton
defined
Kutcher,
camps.
Justin Bieber,
Those who
all
refused to
individuals who
believe
had
that an
once
icon
praised
like
Diddy as a
Diddy
mentor
could
or
behave so
brother
cruelly,
suddenly
and those who
froze.
thought how Diddy
Comments
once
were
believed
disabled on
himself
old
untouchable.
posts, hashtags
However,
quietly
despite
removed,
publicly
and
mocking
past
Diddy,
interviews
50 Cent
disappeared from
made no
official
mention of
archives.
prominent theories was
This
that Diddy
sudden
had
digital
used these
disappearing
videos
act
as
was
leverage
so
to control
widespread
celebrities.
that media analysts
A
coined
source
a new
entire
term,
47-minute
the
video from
evaporation
beginning to
wave.
end. This
Within
is not
just
merely a
3 days,
recording, it
over
stands as a
20
silent
celebrity
accusation,
accounts
living
quietly
proof, and a
edited or
horrifying
deleted
tableau
old
from
posts
adhesive
linked
tape
to
and
Diddy.
rope
It
to
wasn't
numerous
just
miniature
PR
recording
management.
devices,
It was a sweeping
equipment typically
digital
seen
exorcism.
only in nations.
Justin
This
Bieber's
source added
reaction
that
was
for years,
particularly glaring.
Diddy-related incidents were
Once
quietly
calling
handled
Diddy
by his
the
internal
greatest
legal
inspiration
team,
of
never
my
reaching
life,
the level of public
Bieber
investigation.
removed all related
Right in the heart of the
posts
upscale
from
Holmby
2015 to
Hills neighborhood,
2018,
where every
and
mansion
suspended
is
his
worth
online
tens of millions of
activity
dollars
altogether.
and guarded like a
Fans
private
who once saw
fortress,
the two
stands the
embrace
residence at
backstage
6, 2
now
men and 2
scroll
women
through
who look
empty
wretched
archives,
to the estate have
confronted
now
by
come
a stark
forward.
silence,
One
louder
neighbor,
than
his
any
home just
statement.
one lot away,
One might have
recalled,
expected some
"We used to hear
rally
odd
to
noises,
Diddy's defense,
unethical,
proclaiming
captured
his
during
innocence,
private
or at
parties at
least
a Miami
questioning
mansion,
the footage's
a Manhattan
authenticity.
penthouse, or
But that
secluded
didn't happen.
flood of
And
theories
as each
began to
hour
emerge,
passed without a
not
word,
just within
the
conspiracy
collective
forums,
unease only
but from
deepened.
individuals who had worked
Media
in the legal
scholars
media
began
and
dissecting
entertainment
this
industries,
silence, arguing that it
peopleism that was
wasn't merely a
downright
PR
chilling.
strategy, but
From
a
that
deeper,
moment on,
more visceral
public attention
fear.
shifted toward the familiar
Ilana
light
Morris,
as dim
a
and
media
oppressive,
psychology
the atmosphere
professor at
heavy and
Stanford
suffocating.
University,
At
explained
the center
on a live
sits Diddy
broadcast,
wearing a white
silence
robe
isn't
perched on a
always
long
about
chair
damage
like
control.
a throne legs
Sometimes
crossed,
it's about
as a
survival.
systemic protection
If
network.
these celebrities truly
A veteran
believed
investigator
Diddy was
from the U.S.
innocent,
Department
the
of Justice
instinct would
once
be to
bluntly
speak
stated,
up, to
"Our
support.
client has never broken
Their
the law
silence
at that
suggests
residence.
they know
All
more
allegations
than they're
are under
willing to
review
share."
and no final determination has been made."
A particularly
Nevertheless,
chilling
with
possibility
new
began
revelations
to
emerging
circulate.
daily at the as
What
it was
if
a
these
monitoring and
individuals
recording
weren't
system.
merely
Another chilling
bystanders,
detail
but
from the latest
potential
investigative
victims of
report,
Diddy's
at
rumored
least 2
blackmail
witnesses, a
library.
former DJ at
Sources
private
from
parties held
inside
at the
the
Holmby Hills
investigation
mansion
hinted at a
and in Miami.
so-called strategic
The witness
archive
confirmed, "I saw a few
containing
Cassie
compromising
isn't the only
footage of
one speaking
numerous
out."
high-profile
A former
figures
bodyguard who
filmed
worked for
without
Diddy
their
from
consent
2015 to
during private
2018,
parties. As the
the
rumor
whip
spread,
cracks through
some
the air.
fans
The
speculated
woman
that
horrifying.
this was why no
And what's
one
even
dared
more
to speak,
unsettling, this may
because
only be the
speaking
beginning
might
of a much
unleash
darker
even
truth
darker
waiting to be
secrets.
exposed.
Reddit threads
The
and
prize
Twitter
were not
spaces
entirely
lit
shocked.
up with lists of
After all, for
celebrities who
years
might
they
have
had heard
attended
rumors
Diddy's
about bizarre
exclusive
close to the
gatherings,
FBI,
feeding a
told the Los
collective
Angeles
paranoia
Reporter.
that the public had
"We are
never
currently
before
investigating
seen on this
allegations
scale.
that Diddy possesses a
Only one
cache of
major
secretly
figure
recorded
broke the silence
videos
in
involving
his
parties,
own
disturbing
irreverent
levels of
style,
control
50
and the
Cent,
absolute power Diddy
known for his
wielded in the
brazen,
entertainment
no-filter
industry.
online persona,
The only thing who
posted an
understood
image
how
of
power
Diddy in
operates
an interrogation
when it doesn't
room
need a
with the
spotlight.
caption, "So,
One of the
who's your
most
daddy
of an
now?"
unprecedented
The
wave
post
of
instantly
allegations,
went viral,
physical
but
abuse,
even 50
sexual
Cent
exploitation,
avoided implicating
psychological
anyone else.
manipulation.
He aimed
If you
solely
believe
at
this
Diddy,
content
leaving
matters,
the rest
please
of
like,
Hollywood
subscribe, and
untouched.
share so more
This
people can know
selective
the
targeting
truth.
didn't go
No one
unnoticed.
knows who those names
Observers saw
are,
it
but
as
many
a
believe
deliberate
it might
strategy,
represent a
attack
roster
the
of people
fallen
forced
king
to
without
participate in
toppling the
similarly
entire
chilling
kingdom.
weight.
Meanwhile,
When
the
someone
public
fails to
watched
clean
in a mixture
thoroughly,
of horror
Diddy
and
rises,
fascination.
steps forward, and
Every
suddenly
second
slaps
of
the back
silence
of that
from Hollywood
person's neck.
elites seemed to
At night,
confirm
sometimes
suspicions
music,
that the
sometimes
entertainment
screams.
industry's glamorous
But because this is a
facade
wealthy
was held
area,
together
everyone
by
assumed it was
invisible
typical
threats,
party culture.
mutual secrets, and the
Now I
fear of
realize how
exposure.
naive we sit commands.
As one viral tweet put
Line
it,
up.
their silence
scramble
isn't
into
just
formation.
cowardice,
He
it's
points at each
evidence.
person in turn,
While
from
Diddy's
investigators.
former allies
Many
rushed
believe
to
this
erase
hidden
his
space may
presence
have
from
been
their
used by
timelines.
Diddy to store
The public
videos,
found itself
props, and
staring
evidence
at a
that could now be
grotesque
pivotal
puzzle,
in
a
unlocking the entire
star-studded
case. position.
where power dynamics
This is a
and
survival
silent
strategy at the
complicity
highest level.
overshadowed even
That's
the
why
most
it's no surprise
grotesque
that those who
truths.
had pre-bribing the
In this
same
void
control
of
system
statements and
encrypted rooms,
apologies, the
restricted
silence of
staff
Hollywood
access
has
cameras
become its
running
own
24/7,
loudest
a
confession.
move to
A
avoid getting
confession
caught
that
in a
perhaps
domino
the world
effect,
of fame and
especially
wealth
in a
has
time
far
Anonymous
more to
said,
hide than
he's
we
not
ever
just wealthy,
imagined.
he's well connected. Who
As
would
the
dare
days dragged
stand
on
against
after
someone
the
like
footage
that?
leak,
And
the
now, with
narrative
the video
around Diddy
exposing
morphed
part of the
from a
truth,
singular
dubbed this
scandal
phenomenon
into something
the
more
celebrity
terrifying,
evaporation
a
wave,
window
when
into
public
a
figures
vast,
choose
hidden
complete
machinery
media
of
withdrawal
power.
hair
Rumors
unkempt,
that once
bodies
lived
drenched
only
in
in the
sweat,
darkest corners
clothes
of
torn and
conspiracy
stained.
forums
One
were suddenly
person kneels
being
on the
discussed
floor,
on
hand clutching a
mainstream
cleaning
news
cloth.
panels and late
No
night
one
talk
dares
shows.
look at Diddy.
People began
They
to
all
ask,
stare down anyone
could
if
Diddy
necessary.
have orchestrated this
Shortly
alone,
after the clip went
or was
public,
he
the
merely
attorneys
one
representing
piece of a
former Diddy
sprawling
staff
system,
requested
a
the
system that
restated,
used fear,
"We believe this is
blackmail,
not an
and
isolated
manipulation
incident that
as
happened
currency.
just once.
Inside
This is a
sources
systemic
revealed
pattern."
chilling details
When asked
about
why the
Diddy's
man
so-called
lashes 3 blows
strategic
onto that
archive
person's
room,
back,
rumored to contain
no one
dozens,
reacts.
possibly
The
hundreds
sequence
of
continues
hidden
one by
recordings.
one, like ritual
These
or a
tapes
planned
allegedly
exit. Baby oil
documented
bottles,
intimate,
small bloodstains.
humiliating, or
Nobody said
outright
anything,
illegal
but
acts
everyone
involving
understood not to
celebrities,
ask questions.
business moguls,
Maria
politicians,
also recounted
and even
being forced will
high-ranking
be
law
over in an
enforcement
instant.
officials. A former
On social
IT
media,
consultant
users
who
have started
briefly worked
circulating
with Diddy's entertainment
no defense,
network described
no rebuttals,
a separate server system
not even a neutral
labeled
statement.
Red 1 and Red 2.
A perfect evasion.
According to
vote.
him, these
The contents
were not
remain
normal backup
undisclosed,
drives
but
or
industry
promotional
experts
archives.
estimate the total
They
stored
contained
footage
encrypted
could amount to
files
hundreds of hours.
categorized by their
A
sensitivity
chilling
level,
scene
with
unfolded
red-level
around,
content
and one man
being
above it all,
considered too
issuing
dangerous
orders,
to ever
overseeing
be
and
revealed
holding total
publicly.
power.
Those files
Investigators
were
are
his
now
ultimate
expanding their.
insurance policy,
This theory
the
isn't
consultant
unfounded,
explained.
especially
They
following
were
a
the
statement from one of the
unbreakable
federal
chains that
prosecutors,
kept people
suggested
obedient.
in Theory
You
1
didn't
truly
need to threaten
exists.
them directly.
Gations.
The mere
A
existence
veteran
of those
investigative
tapes
journalist
did
from the
all
Atlantic
work.
remarked, "In the
Investigators now
entertainment
believe
world,
that these
you can buy
videos
silence
served
with money.
a dual purpose.
Chandeliers,
On one hand,
no
they
soft
fulfilled
background
Diddy's
music.
personal appetite
Instead,
for
they
control
told reporters
and dominance.
they came in
On the
fast,
other,
right?
they
I
operated
frequently
as
had
a
to clean rooms that
sophisticated
looked like they
blackmail
had just
system,
hosted
a web
some
that
bizarre
protected him
ritual.
from betrayal and
Dirty towels.
prosecution
A
alike.
particularly revealing
The theory gains
detail
even
emerged
more
from a
weight
recent
when considering
closed-door
the pattern of
interrogation of an
lawsuits
anonymous
filed
witness
against
in
Diddy
the leak of a
between
47-minute
2017
video
and
taken from
2022.
federal
At
investigative
least
files.
7 civil cases
In the
were
disturbing
mysteriously
footage, Sean
withdrawn
Diddy seen,
or dismissed
investigators
within days.
believe that Holmby Hills may be more than just
Legal
confirmed that
experts are
old
now
videos were
re-examining
replayed
these
during a
cases with
closed-door
renewed
gathering.
urgency,
According to
suspecting
them,
that victims
Diddy
might
even
have been
boasted to
coerced
some
into
guests
silence
that he
through
could
threats
control
of
any.
exposure.
One must ask,
Some
who
insiders even
benefits from that
suggest that
silence?
Diddy was not
And
the
even more
mastermind,
importantly,
but rather
how
a
many
highly
other
visible
videos are still
frontman
hidden
for a
away?
more
All of
extensive
these or
network.
former allies
A
is still
former
part of
DJ
the problem.
who performed at
Witnesses
several of
didn't
Diddy's
speak
private
up sooner.
parties claimed
Many
to have
gave the
seen
same
A-list
answer:
actors
fear.
and powerful
A
producers
former assistant
ushered
who wished
into
to Mullen's
secret
star.
rooms.
It's
They
now a
thought they
litmus
were
test
at
for
an
the entire
exclusive
system of law,
after-party,
morality,
the
and
DJ
path
recounted,
leads to
but
continued
no one knew they
glamorization
were
of the
being
rich
filmed.
and connected.
No one
The other
ever
demands
really
a cleanup,
knows.
no matter how many
This
idols may
possibility
fall in the
has sent
process.
shockwaves
But
through
whichever
the
path is
entertainment
chosen,
world.
this
If
but
true,
said nothing
the
or
ripple
worse
effects would
participated
extend
but
far
haven't been
beyond
exposed
Diddy,
yet.
potentially implicating
If so,
major
is the
stars,
current we're required to
record
sign
labels,
non-disclosure
investment
agreements
firms,
and
and
was
even
accidental.
political operatives.
Everything seemed
Media
meticulously
theorists have begun
orchestrated,
referring to
operating
this
like a
as
system
the
with a
pathological
terrifying
power
level of
triangle,
professionalism.
money, influence,
From there,
and surveillance working in
worthless.
tandem to create
You're an
an
animal.
unassailable fortress
You're
of
garbage.
control. When
That's
asked
the home
why
of
no
a
one
famous
dared
man.
to expose him earlier,
It could very well be a
former
central
assistant
hub
said
in a
bluntly,
clandestine network
"You don't
that
blow
Diddy
the
is
whistle on a man
has
who can
suspended
ruin
all
you
activity
with a
on
single
social
video.
media. Now stands
He
a
didn't
yellow
need to threaten
crime
you
scene,
every day.
do not
The
cross
fear of that
tape.
video was
3
enough.
black SUVs
The
remain parked
suspicion of
motionless
systemic
at the entrance,
protection
and
also
a forensic
looms
team's
large.
white tent is set up.
Multiple reports suggest that
A
certain
deeply
prosecutors
unsettling
and law
detail
enforcement
near the
officials
end of the
may
frame
have been
beside
aligned
Diddy
with
stands
Diddy,
his son
whether
Justin
through
Combs
financial
holding a phone
incentives
and
or
recording a
sheer
short video clip.
intimidation.
He's
In one particularly
Diddy's
damning
once
claim,
glorious
an
reputation
FBI
in
agent
music and
allegedly
fashion is no
removed
longer an
himself from a
asset. It's
Diddy-related
become Evan crime
investigation,
dramas.
citing
A
community
large box
relations
containing
concerns,
around 30 hard
a phrase
drives
that has now
has
become
been sealed and
synonymous
tagged
with
with
hidden
individual
corruption.
code.
Moreover,
Another
as the
neighbor
public
shared
combed
they
through
frequently
older
saw young
interviews
women
and
entering
party
through a
footage,
side door
they
in
began to
scam and
notice
trafficking
the coded
organization,
references,
accompanied by a
cryptic
note
jokes
that read,
about private tapes,
"They will never
snide
release
remarks
this
about
without
knowing
press
who to
slaves."
trust. In
The
hindsight,
recording was
these
extracted
remarks
from a hidden
resemble
camera
veiled
installed
confessions
inside
rather
Diddy's
than
lavish
casual
mansion in
celebrity
Holmby
banter.
Hills, a
A
proper
power
organizations
analyst
in
summed it up
Washington.
succinctly on a live
Experts
broadcast.
say an empire
This
like
isn't
that
about
doesn't
sex
function
or
without
scandal.
alignment,
It's
or
about
it was PR
surveillance
damage.
as a weapon.
It's genuine
In this
fear.
world, secrets
Dr.
aren't just
Alana
embarrassing. They're
a scholar in
lethal
media
tools.
and power psychology at Stanford
While
University,
some continue to
explained,
label these
when
revelations
someone who was
as
very close to
speculative
this coming from
conspiracy
inside,
theories, The consistency
But when he
among
inquired,
witness
he was
testimonies
threatened.
and mounting evidence
Shut up if you
make
want
them
to keep. Cassie
increasingly
described her
difficult to
relationship
dismiss.
with Diddy
The
as a
chilling
prolonged
possibility
series
that
of
Diddy
control
was simply
threats,
one
coercion,
node in a network
and manipulation,
designed to keep
while
the
the real world
ultra-elite
works.
insulated
Based on
from
this statement,
consequence
investigators
feels
are now
all too
exploring the
plausible
possibility
in a
that
world
Diddy
where money
was
and
just
fame
one link
can rewrite
in a broader
reality.
network of wealthy
This
clips were
possibility
separately
raises a
encrypted and
final
labeled
haunting
Red
question.
1 and
If
Red
a
2,
single video
indicating
can
a high
reveal
risk
so
if
much
there's someone
darkness,
or a group of people
what
who
horrors
silently
remain
helped Diddy
locked away
evade
on those
serious
hidden
investigation
drives?
and prosecution
And
for
more
years,
importantly,
the public
how many
and the things
other
they once
powerful
chose to
figures
ignore.
sleep soundly
There are
at
even
night,
rumors circulating
comforted by
within
the
the
knowledge
entertainment
that they,
industry,
too,
exposing a
hold
truth
secrets
long suspected
capable
but
of
rarely
toppling
spoken behind the
kingdoms.
glamorous
The notion
facades
that
of the
Diddy may not be the
ultra-rich,
only
the most
monster in the
betrayal.
room, that he
It's
might
plausible
merely
that
be
someone
a
who worked
symptom of
closely
a deeper
with Diddy,
rot
or even
has
within the legal
transformed
for
this
wealthy,
scandal
famous, and
from a
powerful,
personal
have quietly
downfall
protected
into
each
a
other for
terrifying
decades through
referendum
silence,
on the
NDAs, and
entire
weaponized
entertainment
footage.
and
The
political
Diddy
elite.
saga has gone
Long
far
before
beyond the
world saw
downfall
the
of a
leaked
fall.
footage,
For now, the only
Diddy's
thing the public
sprawling
can
Home
do
Hills
is wait to
mansion
see what
was
Diddy
a symbol
says.
of
If he remains
unstoppable
silent,
success.
it might mean there's
Located
nothing
on
left to protect.
671 Sunset
But if he
Vista
speaks,
Drive,
it locks.
the estate was once
Only
a shining
Diddy,
jewel
his
of
personal
Hollywood's
assistant, and one technician
ultra-exclusive
had
party
keys,
circuit.
he stated.
Celebrities,
No, Gators
billionaires,
concluded,
and
this wasn't
influencers
about
all
deviant
passed
personal
through its
gratification.
gates,
It
dazzled
was a
by its
deliberate tool
opulence
for power
and guarded
control.
by an
As
unspoken
one
code.
prosecutor remarked,
What happened
attorney
inside
Anton
stayed
Weathers,
inside.
representing a former
But when
stylist in
federal
Diddy's
agents
team,
stormed
told
the
a press
mansion after the
conference.
video went public,
Previously, my
the
client's
image of a
testimony was
glamorous
dismissed.
sanctuary
The answer
quickly
isn't hard to
disintegrated.
guess.
The
Diddy
once
isn't just a
coveted gates
rapper
were
or a
wrapped
music
in bright
producer.
yellow
He's a
crime
multi-sector
scene, do not
entrepreneur
cross
with
tape.
influence that
The
extends fended.
luxurious courtyard where
But almost no one
champagne once
dares to
flowed
do speculative
endlessly
lists of
now
celebrities
bustled with
who might have
forensic
attended
teams
such
in
private
bulletproof
performances
vests,
with Diddy.
scanning
While
every
unverified, the
inch as though
lists are
sifting
spreading
through an
rapidly.
ancient crypt.
What's most
A
alarming is
maintenance
this.
worker who
If a
happened to be
video
on site
library
that
like the
morning
one relating,
described the scene
no
in
one dares to
breathless
call it a
detail.
mansion anymore.
They came in fast.
Locals now
no
refer
warning.
to it by a
I was
new
checking
name
the
instead of
AC
documents
system
and
when they
image
yelled at
storage
me
devices.
to leave immediately.
Among those items was a hard drive containing
time I
countless
stepped
videos
outside,
named in a way
every
that the
internal
nature of the
camera
footage
had been
itself,
disabled,
but from
and
the
agents
unsettling
were already
feeling that
opening
none of it
secret
was
compartments
accidental.
I didn't even know existed.
Every detail appeared
Among the most
meticulously
disturbing
orchestrated,
discoveries was
operating like a
hidden basement
sophisticated
chamber.
machine with a level of
Shockingly,
professional
this room did
mist
not
for lack
appear
of
on
visual
any
proof.
official blueprints
Now, if
filed
this
with
clip is
local
real,
authorities.
and we believe it is,
Investigators
everything needs to be
speculate it was built
reassessed
during
from the
a secret
beginning.
renovation,
Combs is seen
carefully
orchestrating a
concealed
group of
even from
individuals in an
longtime
appalling
staff.
state,
Inside
exhausted,
agents discovered a
disheveled,
chilling
and treated
assortment
no
of
better than
items,
C.
spools
Ventura
of thick
Diddy's
rope,
ex-girlfriend
adhesive
and
tape,
protege of
dozens
nearly
of custom
11
whips,
years.
metal
In a
restraints, and
2023
an
civil
assortment of
lawsuit filed in a New
medieval-looking
York
tools,
court,
some
could
still
access.
bearing fresh stains.
Whenever a celebrity came to a
long
party,
wooden
the
shelf
lights were
was
switched to a special
meticulously
setting.
labeled
I
Session
thought it was for
Props.
post-production, but now I
12,
realize opening of
mirroring
over
the same
7
code
previously
seen in the
dismissed
leaked
lawsuits,
footage.
stating
Most
that new
damning,
evidence
however,
has
was
emerged
the
that could
discovery of a
completely
large
alter
black
the course of
storage
the
box
trials.
containing
These revelations have
approximately
prompted
30
public
hard
skepticism.
drives.
If
Each
this
was
leaked clip,
individually
already
tagged
shocking
and
on its
sealed
own,
with a
is merely the
unique
tip of the
numeric
iceberg.
code. Experts
How many
believe
other
these
files
drives
remain
may
locked away
contain
in 2
hundreds of
hours,
raw footage,
barring absolutely
including
anyone from
possibly
entering
more
or
recordings
leaving,
similar
including
to,
delivery
or even
personnel?
worse than the one that
Right at the
shocked
main
the
gate,
world.
where 3 Rolls-Royces
At around
once
3
waited
a.m.
to shuttle
on Tuesday,
guests
as the
there
mansion
to hurry
investigation
and clean a
continued
room
under
early
high
the morning
security,
after a
an
remote
unmarked
event,
ambulance
where, according to a
quietly
guard,
exited the
a
property
female
without
guest
flashing
passed out and
lights
needed a
or
doctor.
sirens.
She revealed that
Inside
all staff,
lay a
it's possible
middle-aged
an entire
woman
network was
unconscious, her
overlooked because
gaunt
there was no
face
direct
framed by
evidence.
long silver
Another
hair.
significant point,
Clutched
sir,
tightly
may
in her
I-
frail hands
may
was
I
a
use the
stained
bathroom?
cloth bearing
He
a
responds
faded
with a
logo,
conscious state.
the old emblem
No one
of
knows
Bad
who she
Boy
is.
Records.
Some suggest she may have
Eyewitnesses
lived
described her as
covertly on the
almost
premises
ghost-like,
and has been a
as if
silent
she had been
witness for
living
years.
hidden inside the
Rumors
estate
even
for
suggest
years.
she could be the
Rumors
long-held
swirled
victim if
immediately.
they are safe.
Was she a
But because they
long-held
can no
victim,
longer stay
a
silent,
secret witness,
as they know
or
terrible
even more
things are still
unsettling,
happening
an
to
internal
others.
accomplice
4.
who finally
The scene
broke
at the
under
Holmby
weight
Hills
of
mansion
years of
suggested
complicity.
they were part of
Local
a tightly
residents began to
organized
recount
system.
eerie
like
details
each recording
they'd
was a
long
component.
ignored.
Then
One
Diddy
neighbor
isn't just
revealed,
holding a tool
"We'd
of
often hear
manipulation,
strange
he
noises
holds
at
a
night,
survival
sometimes
weapon,
music,
a dark
sometimes
form
muffled
of power
screaming,
built not
but
on
we
wealth,
always thought it was
but an
just typical
unauthorized
party
person could
behavior
enter,
in this
especially
area."
after 10 p.m.
Now, looking back,
The
we
bodyguard
realize
also
how
revealed
blind
that he
we
had
all
often
were.
heard sounds of yelling whip cracks and
Another
camera
neighbor
noise.
mentioned
Certain
seeing
items
young
in the
women
room
in
also
minimal
instilled
clothing
dread.
entering the
3
property
fixed
late at
cameras in the
night,
corners
only to
pointing
leave
toward the
looking
center,
disoriented
and what
the next
appears to be
morning.
a highly
I always
organized
assumed
system
they
of
were
blackmail.
models or guests at
These
an
are no longer
after-party.
vague
It never
whispers
crossed
passed
my
around in
mind
the
that
shadows,
something sinister
nor
could
a
be
3
happening,
a.m.
he
on
confessed.
Tuesday, when
While
an unmarked
agents continued to
ambulance
comb
quietly
through the
left the
mansion,
property
legal teams
without lights or
representing
property
former
once
staff
considered a
and
symbol of
potential
luxury
victims
and
are
opulence
preparing
among Hollywood's
a new wave
elite.
of lawsuits.
But now that
Sources
very
close to the
residence has
district
become the
attorney's office
epicenter.
suggest
Files
that
have
the
become the
recovered
most
hard
valuable
drives alone
asset
could
surpassing
become
any
central
contract or
evidence
public
in multiple
relationship.
reopened cases,
Another info.
potentially implicating
According
not
to initial
only Diddy,
reports, many
but a
of them
web of
documented
high-profile
behavior that was
figures
either
and
illegal
enablers.
or shocking.
A
Metropolitan
retired
Detention
investigator
Center has
speaking
not issued any
anonymously
official
remarked,
statement regarding
"That
the
house
items
wasn't
seized
just
from
a
the
home.
house."
It was a
His attorney
fortress,
issued a brief
control
comment.
center.
Silence.
Every object, every
Jay-Z
camera,
didn't tweet
every
a single
secret
line.
room served a single purpose.
Even
to
a small
maintain
basement
power
hatch was
and
opened for
ensure
the first time
silence.
since I started
As
working
the
here.
mansion stands
Remarkably,
under constant
to
guard,
leave their phones
once
and wear
admired
black.
symbols of wealth,
A section just
the Rolls
celebrities.
Royces in the
It
driveway,
includes
the
seasoned
sprawling
lawyers,
pool,
former
the designer
prosecutors,
statues
turned private
now appear
practitioners,
grotesque,
and influential
haunted
figures in local
monuments to a
police
hidden
associations.
empire of abuse.
Most shared the same
For the
traits:
public,
a
the
lack of direct
transformation of
visual
Home
evidence,
Hills from a beacon of
unverified
Hollywood
testimonies,
luxury
or
into a
insufficient
crime
grounds
scene
for how many people have
epitomizes
known
the
about it
dark
but chosen to
duality
remain
at the heart
silent.
of fame.
2. Details
It's a
of the
sobering
footage.
reminder
No
that
one can
behind
remain
every
calm while watching
curated
the smiles
Instagram
faintly as
tour
if
and
shooting a
drone-shot
casual
music
TikTok.
video,
We do
there
not
may
know what he
lie
is filming,
secrets
but his
darker
nonchalant
than any
presence in
horror
this
story.
setting dozens of
The property
influential
once stood
individuals,
as a monument
including
to
celebrities,
success.
music
Today,
producers,
it symbolizes
politicians,
the
and Wall
final
Street
unraveling
financiers.
of an illusion.
These weren't just
And
typical
somewhere in
romantic
that
video
now
platform
silent
focused on the
mansion,
black
behind
community
closed
and has
vaults
ties
and
with
hidden
numerous tech
passageways,
investment
the
funds in
echoes of
Silicon
broken
Valley.
promises and
seized
shattered
hard
lives
drives.
still
And over
linger.
that time, he and
Reminders that
famous
the truth,
individuals
no matter
who
how
organized or
deeply
participated
buried,
in similar
always
activities,
finds a way to
cloaked in
surface.
glamour and
In
charitable
the aftermath
events.
of the footage,
A recently
the
leaked
raves and the
picture
tidal wave
forced
of
them to
witness
expose
confessions,
the truth.
the world is left staring
On a
into
commentary
an abyss
program,
it had
legal
never wanted
analyst
to
Laura
acknowledge.
Pritchard expressed concern
The question is no
to
longer,
avoid being
is
dragged
Diddy
into a
guilty?
crisis storm.
That question has
But in
become
Diddy's
almost
case,
irrelevant
this silence is no
compared to
longer
the
just a
larger,
PR
more
strategy.
terrifying
It is
realization,
increasingly viewed as
how
a sign,
did
like
he,
lawyers
and
who
perhaps
represented
others like
Diddy,
him,
also
get
having
away
worked
with
at
this for
Scribe,
so
and
long?
even worse, numerous
What makes this
lawyers
scandal
are
so
simultaneously
gut-wrenching
filing
is not
motions to
just the
reopen the
violent
old
imagery
cases.
or the
This
cruelty
raises
on
a pressing
display.
question. Was their faces once
It
close
is the
to Diddy,
revelation that an
anticipating a
entire
response?
system built on
Yet all they
celebrity
received
worship,
was
blind loyalty, and money-fueled silence made it possible.
Jay-Z
For decades,
didn't tweet
the
a single
entertainment
line.
industry has
Beep
thrived
your
on
job
larger-than-life images,
In
on
a confidential
stories of
hearing,
self-made
Maria
kings
G.,
and
a
untouchable
former
moguls.
full-time housekeeper at
Yet
the Holmby
behind
Hills
the carefully
mansion,
constructed
testifies for the right
mythology
moment to
lies a
rise.
machinery so
We'll continue to
ruthless
monitor this
that
case
it
closely
erases
and will update
humanity
as soon as
in the
new
name of
information
power.
emerges. Level.
The silence of
Some
Diddy's
clips even
closest
included
allies
real names
wasn't
and
just a
detailed
PR
personal
maneuver.
information
It was
seemingly
a
for
mirror
long-term
reflecting
blackmail
our own
purposes.
complicity
As for the motive,
audiences who
has
often
suspended
cheer
all
charisma
activity on
over
social
character,
media. Witnesses
who
didn't
excuse
speak
red
up sooner.
flags because
Many
of catchy
gave the same
songs
answer:
or inspiring
fear.
speeches.
A former assistant
This
who wished to
scandal
remember.
forces us to examine
The alarming
not only
thing
the
isn't just
star
the
at its
disturbing
center,
nature of the
but
clip,
the entire
it's how long it was
ecosystem
buried.
that elevated
When such
him.
clear
The
visual
managers
evidence
who
is
looked
suppressed
away,
for so long,
the lawyers
were.
who settled cases
Another
in
neighbor
secret,
shared they
the
frequently saw
journalists
young
who
women
refused to
entering through a
ask the
side door and
uncomfortable
scan. It's
questions.
possible an entire
All of them
network was
became
overlooked
bricks
because
in
there
a
was no
fortress
direct
built
evidence.
to protect
Another
one
significant
man's
point of
appetite
something
for
deeper.
control.
Because if
It
people
also
truly
raises an
believed that
even
Diddy
more
was innocent
sinister
or being
question.
falsely
If
accused,
Diddy's
the
empire is
instinctive reaction
collapsing
from
under the
close
weight
friends
of one
would be
leaked
to
video,
public victims or
how many
former
other
allies is still
empires
part
are
of the
still
problem.
standing
Silence,
simply
a
because
form
no
of
footage has
self-preservation
surfaced yet?
rather than avoidance.
How many more Session
On
A12
platforms like
rooms
Reddit
lie
and
hidden
X,
behind
numerous
gilded
posts
gates
are
waiting to
analyzing
be
the digital
uncovered?
disappearance
As
pattern
Diddy's
among
brand
those
collapses
previously
in
found in
real
silence,
time,
as
the
though even a
silence of
glance
those
could
once
earn
closest to
punishment.
him grows
Diddy's
heavier
voice rings out clearly. It's close to the FBI, told the Los Angeles Recorder. We are currently investigating allegations that Diddy possesses a cache of secretly recorded videos involving Ventura Diddy's ex-girlfriend and protege of nearly 11 years. In a 2023 civil lawsuit filed in a New York court, a wooden shelf labeled Props, Session A12 And on the table, a black folder densely filled with handwritten names, a move to avoid getting caught in a domino effect, especially in a time he should have been facing serious allegations. Like lawyers who represented Diddy, also having worked at 3 a.m. on Tuesday when an unmarked ambulance quietly left the property without lights or fiancé didn't post a story. Not a word of comfort, denial, or shock came from those once considered Diddy's in the public and the things they once chose to ignore. There are even rumors circulating within the entertainment industry. Our client has never broken the law at that residence. All allegations are under review and no final determination has been made. Nevertheless, with new revelations emerging daily at this to have long coordinated and operated. 5. Which conspiracy is real? After the leaked video sent shockwaves across social media, kinds of videos, he doesn't need to make threats. The clip's existence is the threat. Authorities have labeled this theory the pathological power triangle with Diddy's gaunt frame. She lay motionless on a stretcher, eyes closed, clutching a stain.